All right. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing the word in all sincerity and in truth. All right, shalom to the scattered Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth that may look like the other nations, but your spirit and lineage goes back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel. No matter what you look like Elder Malcolm says, this is not a black thing. And shalom to the 144,000, the hopeful elect, and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. Shalom. I'm the brother Dama Al-Gabar, here with another lesson. Lord willing to feed the lambs and sheep of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and to preach this gospel of the kingdom of heaven, all right, which is being spread throughout the four corners of the earth via the prophets and the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to awaken the elect, the predestinated ones, the chosen, and also to prophesy the downfall and the destruction of Babylon the Great, aka America, and to let you nations, you heathen nations, know your demise, your downfall, your up and coming captivity, and the vengeance which will come upon you via punishment from our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai HaMashiach for the rape, robbery, murder, slavery, and the captivity that you have imposed upon His chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel, which consist of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, I'm the brother Dama Al-Gabar out here with another live lesson. Lord willing to edify. All right. And as I titled this, I think I titled it The Weapons of the Lord Indignation, right? Which is going to come to lay the whole land desolate, and the land that's going to be made desolate by the weapons of the Most High's weapons of indignation, which are these nuclear missiles, ICBM missiles, all right, is Babylon the Great, America, all right? And that's the judgment for Babylon. America is to be laid desolate via this thermonuclear destruction. All right, and if you haven't noticed, Russia was accused of using one of these ICBM missiles, which it wasn't an ICBM missile, to the point to where it was loaded with a nuclear warhead. It was one of their more sophisticated type of weapons, but it wasn't a literal nuclear missile. It was I think it was probably a hypersonic missile. But if you've seen the video and you've seen the display that Russia showed hitting Ukraine with that weapon, man, it made your jaw drop. All right, the precision, the speed, and just the way that it fell down upon those particular targets, man, was something to see. And when I saw that, it made me think of all the scriptures dealing with the weapons of the Lord's indignation, which are these nuclear missiles, which, as we know, according to prophecy and scriptural, that the Lord put the spirit on these nations to create those weapons to fulfill His purpose, which is ultimately to lay the whole land desolate, which is Babylon the Great, America, which a lot of these nations possess these weapons because the Lord put the spirit on Russia, China, India, Turkey, America, North Korea, and in particular these other nations to possess these weapons of indignation, because those are ultimately the weapons of the Lord, whether you want to believe that or accept it or not. All right, the Lord, this earth is the Lord's and the fullness of it, and everything on this planet is used for the purpose and the glorification of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And guess what? These missiles were created for the glorification and the purpose of the Most High to fulfill prophecy, man. And to part of it is to avenge the elect, to avenge the 12 tribes of Israel from this captivity, from this hell, from this bondage that we had to endure from these different nations and being in these different lands and in these different captivities, man. So that's what I wanted to go into, is the weapons of the Lord indignation. So I got some articles I want to go into dealing with, how, these weapons of the Lord's indignation are these nuclear missiles, because you have a lot of these people out here, these scoffers, these non-believers, these low vibrational beings who don't understand the scriptures will watch our videos of us speaking about the arrows and these missiles and how they're the weapons of the Heavenly Father, and we go into scripture and break it down, but they still say, but they still doubt. They still don't believe. They'll say things like, well, why would God be so powerful, need missiles? Why can't He just do like this and do it like that? Well, nigga, the Most High's thoughts are not your thoughts. All right, and the Most High does things the way that He wants to do them. He wants things to play out the way that He wants them to play out, man. And damn it, if the Lord wanted to put the spirit on these nations and these Smith and these scientists to split the atom to make nuclear bombs, then damn it, that's what the Lord seen fit to do, and that's what it's going to do. And it's our job to come out here and to prophesy and to tell you of these things before they happen, man. So at the end of the day, all glory is going to be to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and seeing what Russia just did, man, hey, it pumped my spirit up, man, because it lets me know that we're that much closer to our salvation, and that the Lord is literally showing you people exactly what these nuclear missiles, what these nuclear missiles literally are, man. We've been telling you, we've been prophesying, we've been breaking it down, going into scriptures, but now it's time for the Lord to show and tell, man. He's about to start putting the spirit on these different nations, man, to start using these nuclear missiles when this World War III goes full blown. All right? Because right now we're still in that rumor of war. We're still in that phase to where, it hasn't gone fully nuclear, but we know that those days are approaching and those days are ahead. And I'm here to tell you today that those weapons are the creation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right, to lay this land desolate, and it's part of the armory and the weaponry and the army of the Heavenly Father to fulfill prophecy, man. All right, so let me get this first precept. Then I'm gonna read some of these articles, just go into some information dealing with these ICBM missiles, and then link them with scriptures that's in the Holy Scriptures. How you can see that these weapons that were created, something of that massive destruction, something of that degree, is spoken of scripturally, man. Now, of course, it's not going to say ICBM missile, because that term wasn't created when the Lord, put it within the scriptures. But we know through prophecy, through the Spirit of the Lord, how to link these things together. And, the only thing that you can truly compare to the massive destruction and the way that the scriptures speak about these things can only be those ICBM missiles, all right? Those are the only things on the planet that can bring that sure amount of devastation and destruction and the besom of destruction that's going to come, through the creation of these missiles, man. All right, so let me get the first scripture, man, and then I'm going to read some of these articles, go into some of this information, drop some of these precepts, and Lord willing, you can be edified, man. Hey, because, these weapons are going to be used, man. All right, these nuclear missiles are not going to go into a museum. They're not going to be retired. They're not going to nuclear deproliferate, or whatever the hell the term they use to use these missiles, man. It's the will and the will of the Heavenly Father, man. All right, and the Lord did not make these scientists create these weapons for no reason, man. They serve a purpose, and their purpose is going to be fulfilled. All right, so this is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work." And what is the ancient smith? Was a man that created weapons. And what is your modern day smith? These scientists. You watch that movie Oppenheimer. They show you how all those so-called great minds, how they were all coming together. They was trying to split the atom, make nuclear fission. How it was a race during the Cold War between the Russians and the Americans. Which the Russians got it started first, and then America took a lot of those Russian scientists and brought them over here to the Americas so that they helped them to create it, man. And then ever since then, it's just been on and popping, man. That information and how they created Fat Boy and Little Boy and atomic bombs and nuclear bombs and all these other smiths and scientists to the point to where we are today, man. And they've been spreading that information with China, with India, with North Korea. Now they all possess that knowledge and that understanding of how to create these the weapons of the Lord's indignation, man. And it was all prophecy. It was all the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for these things to be so, to get to the point to where we are now, man. So the Lord said, "Behold, I have created the smith." You see, in other words, the Lord put it in their minds to create this this type of weaponry with this much destruction. All right. Right, the Lord put it in the minds of these scientists to be able to put together these particular elements, to do all these things, to create this type of weapons that can literally destroy the earth several times over, man. You see? So don't, but of course it's in the pride of man to believe that, it's through their intelligence and through their smarts and through their studying that they were able to do these things. No. Hey, the Most High opened up the minds of these scientists and Oppenheimers and all the other individuals that was involved to create these weapons of mass destruction, man. All right, so the Lord has created the smith. The Lord has given them the know-how to do these things. Because like I said, they're going to serve the purpose of the Most High, which I'm going to show you. It says, "And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy." You see, and in the margin it says, "A weapon, a destroyer." You see, and what is the weapon of mass destruction? Isn't that what they call these nuclear missiles? Weapons of mass destruction? Isn't that what they called if all these nuclear missiles were shot up at the same time by all these different countries? It's called MAD, mutually assured destruction. All right, so now, like we do, we're going to go into some of these words, man. All right, so you can get a better understanding. But we know only the elect are going to get it, but it's still our job and our duty to come out here and to prophesy these things, man. All right, so let's get this. Isaiah 54:16, right? So let's go into the Hebrew. All right, so we're going to look up a couple words. I'm going to try to go fast. Lord willing, I'm probably not going to be able to get through all these precepts, man, but Lord willing, I can. All right, so the word is the smith, right? And the word smith in the Hebrew is haras. It says a craftsman, artisan, an engraver, an artificer, skillful to destroy. You see? And these scientists with these missiles and the capabilities, these hypersonic missiles, these supersonic missiles, these are highly skilled, highly technologically advanced weapons that's going to destroy on a mass scale, man. And when I read some of this information on these nuclear missiles, they tell you how the sheer amount of death that one can bring to a city. Imagine 200 million, because most of these weapons, most of these nuclears have multiple warheads, man. All right, and when they drop, they're going to drop with pain, man. They're going to literally do everything the scriptures say that they're going to do, and they're going to lay the whole land of Babylon the Great, aka America, literally desolate. See, this is why no man is ever going to dwell here. The Arabian's not going to pitch his tent, but only desert creatures and desert animals are going to dwell here in Babylon the Great after the judgment that's going to fall down upon this place. And the only thing on this earth that was created to do that are these ICBM missiles, these nuclear warheads, man. All right, it says a fabricator or any material, an artificer, a craftsman, a marker, mason, workman, such things as are wrought. Oh, look at this. An artificer of iron, brass, stone, wood, and aren't these missiles made of different metals and alloys and different elements of the earth, man? You see? So let's go through some more words. So that's for the word smith, all right? And that's what these scientists are. Like I said, watch that movie Oppenheimer. They're showing you how they was going to all of this, all of these, cooking up all these numbers using materials, you know what I mean? Trying to figure out the sophistication of how to, create these weapons of mass destruction. And the Lord gave them the spirit to do it, all right? And the word for instrument, the word is kelai. It says a utensil, an apparatus, a vessel, an implement of hunting or war. You see? And that's exactly what these missiles were made for. They're war-like weaponry, man. All right? It says an instrument, a weapon, pretty much, See? So it's a weapon. What else I want to get? Let's get this word for waster. And the word is sahat. And it says to destroy, to ruin, decay. To be marred, be spoiled, be corrupted, be corrupt, be injured, be ruined. You see? And that's what these missiles are going to do. It says destroyer. Right, that's what these missiles do. Not only do they destroy on a sheer impact of violence and destruction and hot-ass nuclear fire, and that besom of destruction, that sweeping nuclear wind, but it also, after it's done, the amount of radiation and iodize and all the poison that it drops on the land afterwards is surely 100% damaging, man. Right, it totally contaminates the land. Look what happened to Hiroshima and Nagasaki after they bombed that place, man. It was radioactive, and that land was uninhabitable for a long time. Look at Chernobyl, man. Look at the effect it had on those people. And those bombs are nowhere near as destructive and as powerful as the bombs that they have now, man. All right. So now we see one more word, man. Now let's get the word to destroy. The word is habal. It says, let me see. To destroy, spoil, to destroy, ruin, be broken. Yeah, that's what these look at this. It says to destroy, also to write and pain. That's pretty much it, man. All right, so now the Lord said he has created the smith. So now we know what those words means. The smith is a skillful engraver to make an instrument, a weapon. All right, We know what the word to destroy means. The waster, waster, to destroy. All right, all these things are all talking about a weapon of mass destruction, which is these nuclear missiles, which the Lord is about to ultimately unleash upon this earth. So let me get some of these articles dealing with what ICBM and what these weapons are, man. All right, so first one, I'm gonna go to the what I got here. Let's go to the Wikipedia. Let's see. And it says intercontinental ballistic missile. And see, and you got to break that word down. What is an intercontinental ballistic missile? It's a missile that can be shot from one continent to another continent, man. You see, these are the weapons of indignation that the Lord is speaking about. But it's in code. Like I said, it's not going to come out and say ICBM missile, a Sarmat missile, a Dongfeng missile, because those terms wasn't created when the Lord put the spirit on the prophets to create these things. But now that we're in these end times and we're the prophets that wrote these things, now we understand what they truly are, man. And we're able to look out in the world and to, link these things with scripture. And it can't be anything else, man. It's not going to be some goddamn meteor. I heard some of these false Christians say, oh, that destroying wind and the lake of fire is going to be caused by a meteorite that's going to fall out of the sky. No, that's not what it's talking about, man. All right, that those talents that's going to pelt this place are these nuclear missiles, man. All right, let's see what it says. It says an intercontinental ballistic missile is a ballistic missile with a range greater than 5,500 kilometers, primarily designed for nuclear weapons delivery. You see, now, isn't that what the scripture just said? The waster to destroy is. It's a weapon, an instrument. All right. It says delivering one or more thermonuclear warheads. See, and this is what they were claiming that Russia hit Ukraine with a couple of days ago. But it wasn't it could have been an intercontinental ballistic missile. It could have been a hypersonic missile, but it wasn't designed with it didn't have thermonuclear warheads on it. It has something of a less payload on it. But better believe you me, the intercontinental ballistic missiles they do have, whether it's on a submarine, a launcher, these ones that they're going to use in the future, they can be equipped with thermonuclear warheads, which is going to be the end-all be-all, man, which they are going to use, according to prophecy. It says delivering one or more thermonuclear warheads. Conventional, chemical, and biological weapons can also be delivered with varying effectiveness, but have rarely been deployed on ICBMs. It says most modern designs support multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, or MIRVs, and that's what they used the other day over there in Ukraine. But like I said, it wasn't equipped with a thermonuclear warhead, and it has that MIRV technology, man. And MIRV, it says allowing a single missile to carry several warheads, each which can strike a different target. You see, and that's why a lot of these warheads are equipped with multiple warheads, so they can shoot one here and to hit California, but it's not all of them are not going to hit just one spot, man. One could hit here in the IE, one can hit over in Northern California, one can hit over in deeper down south in California. They each can hit different multiple targets, man. So these things are highly sophisticated, man, and they ain't no joke. See, and this is what the Lord is speaking about. These are the weapons of the Most High's indignation. These are the weapons that are in His armory. All right. It says it says the United States, Russia, China, France, India, and the United Kingdom, Israel, and North Korea are the only countries known to have operational ICBMs. You see, and one thing you got to understand, ICBM, they have those long range, which means that they can be shot from Korea to hit here in America. From America, it can hit in Russia. From England, it can be shot here to America. From America to England. From India to America. They have a very long and vast range, man. A far range. You see? And this is why scriptures tell you that in one great hour, Babylon the Great, America is going to be destroyed. Because this place is going to be hit with these type of missiles, man. All right? It says, whatever this is. See, it says, remember, these are all the weapons of the Most High's indignation, man. It says early ICBMs had limited precision, which made them suitable for use only against larger targets such as cities. They were seen as safe basing options, one that would keep the deterrent force close to home where it would be difficult to attack. You see, so they're telling you that these missiles were created to what? Attack cities, man. And this is exactly what the scriptures say. This is what the scriptures are talking about. These are the arrows. These are the weapons that's going to lay the whole land desolate. These things were created to hit cities, not to shoot jets out of the sky, not to shoot aircraft carriers, but to literally melt and destroy whole cities and the people that are in those cities, man. All right. It says, attack against military targets, especially hardened ones, demanded the use of a more precise crude bomber. Second and third generation design, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it says ICBMs are differentiated by having greater range and speed than other ballistic missiles. And some of these missiles, can come down at 30,000 miles an hour, man. They're literally unstoppable. They can't be shot down. There's no defense against these missiles. And we know scripturally that America is the land of underworld villages. What the hell do you think is going to happen when these missiles come in at such speed at Mach, I forget what it is, thousands of miles per hour, and America doesn't have no missile defense system. Now, America has its own nuclear missiles and ICBMs strategically placed in different parts around the country, but they're not equipped to shoot down what Russia has created and what the Lord is going to allow this place to be hit with, man. You see? So this place is goose is cooked. It's just a matter of time before these weapons of the Lord indignation descends upon you. Look at this. It says multiple modern ICBMs typically carry multiple independently target re-entry vehicles, MIRVs, each one which carries a separate nuclear warhead, allowing a single missile to hit multiple targets. MIRV was an outgrowth of the rapidly shrinking size and weight of modern warheads and strategic arms limitation treaties. Blah, blah, blah. See? Here we go. It says ICBMs can be, I'm going to read this and I got a precept showing you exactly what scripture is talking about. It says ICBMs can be deployed from multiple platforms in missile silos, which offer some protection from military attack, including the designer's hope, some protection from a nuclear first strike, which is not true. It says on submarines, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, most or all SLBMs have the long range of ICBMs. On heavy trucks, this applies to one version of the Topol, which may be deployed from a self-propelled mobile launcher capable of moving through roadless terrain and launching a missile from any point along its route. Mobile launchers on rails, it says the last three kinds are mobile and therefore hard to detect prior to a missile launch. During storage, one of the most important features of the missiles is its servability. One of the key features of the first computer-controlled ICBM, the Minuteman missile, was that it could quickly and easily use its computer to test itself. You see, so look at that. It says what? They can be deployed for multiple platforms. Now watch what the scriptures say about these missiles, man. These arrows. Where is it? Yeah. Jeremiah 50th chapter, man. I'm going to start at 21. See, the scriptures is telling you that these things are going to be used in the near future. All right? And this is how you know, because the people will hear us say Babylon is going to be burnt like this. They think it's talking about ancient Babylon. But guess what? This type of weapon didn't exist during the time of ancient Babylon. And ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed in the fashion that the scripture is speaking about this daughter of Babylon, this modern day Babylon. It's spiritual, man. All right, you can't just try to say, "Oh, that's talking about ancient Babylon." There's no way in the history where ancient Babylon was destroyed with fire and was never inhabited again. It's talking about this modern day Babylon, spiritual Babylon, which is America, man. All right, so remember, I just read about the different ways that these missiles can be launched, right? From submarines, from missile silos. These are all the different type of ways in which these ICBMs are going to be off, right? So this is Jeremiah 50 and 21. It says, "Go up against the land of Merathaim." All right, and this is speaking about Merathaim was I think it was one of the ancient cities, ancient Egypt. You see, but that which is then is now. Your modern day Egypt, your modern day Merathaim here is Babylon the Great. Remember, this is spiritually Egypt and Sodom, man. All right, because the same thing that happened in ancient Egypt is what synonymous for the enslavement of the Israelites. Which the Israelites, we came here in slavery in this modern day Egypt, and is likened unto spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, which that don't need to be explained, right? We know what Babylon the Great and what America, how it fits being spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, man. And it says, "Go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod, waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee." A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. You see, and that's what we see happening right now. Now you're hearing talks of, oh, now World War III is in full effect. Oh, now it's World War III, which it's not in full effect, but people see that this is where things is headed. We see America poking the bear. They're trying to, the Biden administration is literally trying to push Russia into into this third world war before Trump gets into office, man. You see, so there's talk of this great war and great destruction. All right, a sign of battle is in the land, man. All right. And like I said, hey, this third world war is going to be fought. There is going to be a draft here in Babylon the Great. Even Great Britain, who else? France, Sweden, Germany, some of those NATO countries, they're already saying that they're basically prepared to go to war with Russia. Who is it? Is it London or the UK? One of them. They said that they have 800,000 troops, and they're ready to go to war. Now they said, and they've been providing. America has been providing Ukraine and who was that? Great Britain. One of the EU, either Great Britain or one of those countries. They provided Ukraine with those Shadow Storm missiles, and America provided them with those Attack-em missiles, which Russia said is literally an attack. And now they're going to go to war with America and NATO because NATO provided those missiles. The NATO countries provided those weapons to Ukraine, and did those EU countries, man. Which ultimately, if you have any sense, you know that the Ukrainians didn't use those weapons. It was the West, America, had their own particular servicemen to use those weapons, because those Ukrainians, they don't know how to use those attacking weapons. They're American weapons, so obviously they're gonna have an American soldiers there to set up the whole shit and to use them. And the same with those Storm Shadow missiles, man. Wherever they came from, they had a soldier from that particular region in Ukraine to fire them off. So basically, Russia looked at that as a threat of war, man. And this is why, hey, things are going the way they're going. And they was talking all this shit saying that, the Russians are bluffing, Putin is bluffing. Well, what he did the other day showed that he wasn't bluffing, man. And he showed you just a sheer piece of what the capability that they truly possess, man. And if they really want to blow Ukraine off the map, they could literally do that, man. See, but they don't want to destroy all of Ukraine. They just want the part of Ukraine that they said that they promised that they would take, man. They don't want the whole part of it. They just want the part that they said that they're willing to take, and the rest will be left. It will be demilitarized, man. But at the end of the day, we know that, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is a God of war, and he wants this war to take place. And that further proves that this is how you know these weapons were created by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because the Most High is a man of war. He's the creator of war. And he wants war. All right? And war he shall have. All right? It says back in Jeremiah 50 and 22, a sound of battle was in the land and of great destruction. 23, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? You see? And who is the hammer of the whole earth? America, man. You see, but this is spiritually. It's spiritually talking about America, man. It's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about America in a spiritual sense, all right? It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You see? See, the Lord is laying a snare under America, under Esau, Edom, to believe that, it was that Musini Pike shit, Esau thinking that he's doing these things intentionally, these elites, to start this third world war, so that they can rise out of the ashes and establish this new world order. But really, the Lord has laid a snare for them, man. The Lord is making them do all these things, create these weapons, go to war, create all this conflict, while giving them to believe that they're doing this according to their own will, not knowing that, hey, the Lord gave you these weapons of mass destruction and the blessing that you have ultimately to be your own destruction, you jackass, man. You see, but Esau is too proud and too arrogant to understand that. He thinks that the power is in his hand, that he controls his own destiny, that he can maneuver and move outside of the realm and the control of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, which he's going to be shown to be a damn fool, and he's going to be shown that he doesn't possess that type of power. All right, and the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to stand. But anyways, like I was saying, like I was reading here, it's going into what? Showing you how these different ICBMs, different platforms, right? Meaning how these missiles can be used. It says what? In silos, on submarines, on heavy trucks, mobile launchers on rails, right? Now listen to how It's speaking about the destruction of Babylon the Great America via, this destruction. It says Yahweh have opened his armory. You see? Let's look up this word armory. So the Lord is referring to these missiles as his armory, man, because they are, like I said earlier. This world is the earth is the Lord's and all things that are in it, man. All right. Where am I? See, but only you got to have the spiritual eyes to see these things. To the average everyday person, this would sound crazy. This would sound insane. Sounds like I'm reaching, but no, right? It makes perfect sense, right? Let's get this word for armory. The Lord has opened his armory, right? And the word is Tazar, right? It says treasure, storehouse, store, supplies. Oh, it says a store, supplies of food to drink, but we know this is not food to drink. All right, now the Tazar it's like a storage where you keep particular things, right? And in this case, it says a storehouse, magazine of weapons, figuratively of the Most High's armory. Look at this, storehouses of the Most High for rain, snow, hail, wind. Well, we see that these weapons, of course, they're not literal rain or wind, but they're symbolically compared to a destroying wind, which I'm gonna read that later. They're gonna fall down like rain out of the sky, which are these nuclear missiles, man. So these different weapons, these missiles, wherever they're stored, are the storehouses of the Most High's armory, man. All right, his storehouse of weapons, which they're going to be used to perform his all his pleasure, man. Because think about it, right? If the Lord didn't want these things to be used, he would have never put it on the spirit of man to create these things, man. Even Esau, Edom, even when you watch Oppenheimer, even he said after they tested out that atomic bomb, even he was saying, he quoted that something von Gita, whatever you call it, I have become destroyer of worlds, and he was crying and shit because they realized, once they took this genie out of the bottle, you can't put that shit back in. And it shows you that Esau is the damn wicked. Once he saw the sure destruction of what these things could do, you would think a righteous man, a man with common sense, would be like, look, we need to anybody creating this shit doesn't need to exist. We need to stop this shit right now, bury it, don't ever use it again, throw away all the history, and if anybody's ever caught trying to create these things, they should be hanged from the neck till they're dead. But what did he do? No, he created more and more and more to the point now to where there's over damn near what? Well, I'll show you later. Thousands of these weapons all over the earth, man. Because, like I said, it's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. These are the Lord's weapons. These are going to be used for the Lord's discretion and for His purpose, right? It says, the Lord has opened His armory and have brought forth the weapons of His indignation. See? That's these missiles, man. It says, for this is the work of the Lord, of the Lord God of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. See, and who were the modern day Chaldeans? America, Babylon the Great, Esau, Edom, man. You see, these are the weapons of the Lord indignation, man. See, this is how the Lord is going to judge this place, and this is how He's going to clean up the land of Israel with all those rats and those heathens in that land as well. And the whole land of America is going to be completely dissolved and eviscerated. These are those weapons, man. And here's the point, right? All those different modes that these weapons can be used. Listen to this. It says, come against her from the utmost border. What is the utmost border? It means somewhere far away. That's why they are intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. All right? It says what? Come against her from the utmost border. Open her storehouses. What is that? These different silos, these different ways that these missiles can be shot and used. Silos coming out of the ground. Like I said, even America has their Minutemen and their missiles in different places around the country on military bases. And when they're ready to shoot, they'll come out of the ground, out of the storehouses, out of the place where they're being held, man. You see? It says, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. You see? These are the only weapons on the face of the earth that can destroy America and land utterly, man. Or these weapons of indignation, these nuclear missiles, these ICBMs, and all different types that these nations possess. And the majority of them are going to be shot here on Babylon the Great America, man. This is why the elect, the only escape from this indignation is going to be taken up in the chariots, man. This is how we're going to see that lake of fire. This is how we're going to have a bird's eye view of seeing that the judgment of the great whore Babylon, the great America, when we're delivered from this judgment, from this land America being utterly wasted, man. It says, let nothing of her be left. You see? And this is how it's not talking about ancient Chaldea or ancient Babylon. That place still stands today. But this Babylon that it's talking about is America, man. If you have the eyes to see, and it's going to be completely, utterly desolate. It says, slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. See, and how are they going to be visited? with these missiles. It says, the voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of our power, of Yahweh our God, the vengeance of his temple. You see? Because who's going to be the only one that's going to be able to declare in Zion the vengeance? Is going to be the elect, man. This is why when we're beamed up, when we see the destruction of America, we're going to be singing the song of Moses. We're going to be praising Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. Let me get that real fast, man. See if I can get that. Rejoice over her, you holy prophets. You see? Man, it's beautiful, man. You know? Hey, and the water Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah for giving us the understanding to be able to put these things together. And we don't give a damn what nobody say. We don't give a damn if you don't believe, if you don't believe what we're saying. Don't matter what you believe. Because at the end of the day, the Most High is going to be true and everybody else is going to be found a liar. Here we go. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 20. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy prophets and prophets. Who was the her? America. That's why this place is likened unto that great whore. All right? But it's spiritual, it's symbolic, you know? It says, for God have avenged you on her. You see? I just read that. That's why the destruction is coming to this place in the way that it's coming, for the Israelites to be avenged of all the rape, robbery, murder, captivity, slavery that we had to endure here in this captivity. It says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone. What is that great millstone? These missiles, man. That's why the scriptures refer to him as a talent, as this heavy weight, you know, as the stars falling from heaven, man. You see? It says, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. You see? This place is going to be totally destroyed. Just a memory, forgotten, never inhabited, man. It's going to be a memorial for what happens when you live wickedly and blasphemously against Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. It says, in the voice of harpers and musicians and pipers and trumpet, yeah, no more of this stupid rap music, you know, no more of this bullshit that goes on here. It's never going to be seen or heard of again. Because once this place is destroyed, the hub of wickedness, you know, the hub of wickedness and idolatry, foulness, once this place is destroyed, stuff that happens here in America ain't never going to be permitted or allowed to happen anywhere on the planet Earth under the throne of David and the kingdom of our Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Shit like this ain't going to be able nor be permitted to exist, man. You see? Shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatever soever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. You see? So this is how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because business is still being conducted, people still live there, idolatry and bullshit is still going on there. But this Babylon, when it's destroyed, none of that BS is going to take place anymore, man. So this is how we know it's talking about modern day Babylon, which is America, man. It says, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. You see? And in this place, it does have the blood of the prophets and of the righteous men on it. All right? And this is why we're going to be avenged, man. So let's go back to this Jeremiah 50 and 20. And where was I? Right here in 29, it says, call together the archers against Babylon. Now, what is the archers? Those that possess these ICBM missiles. And when you look at these missiles, they literally look like arrows being shot out of a bow and arrow. But we know they're a more highly sophisticated, more powerful, longer range form of a bow and arrow, or a missile, or an arrow being shot out of a bow and arrow. Okay, the modern day bow are these goddamn silos, these launchers, these submarines that these missiles can shoot out of, the silos they are fired out of, man. You see? It says, call together the archers against Babylon. Who are the archers against Babylon? Russia, Turkey, the Saudis, North Korea, China, and a lot of those BRIC nations, India, because eventually they're all going to shoot their missiles here on Babylon the Great, and even America's own allies are going to turn around and burn this whore with fire, man. All right? It says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done, do unto her. For she have been proud against Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, against the Holy One of Israel. You see? It's talking about America, man. And this is the most proudest place on the planet Earth. And all these nations have a bone to pick with Babylon the Great. All these nations have been raped, robbed, done dirty, shitted on by America in some capacity or the other, man. And all these nations really have they all have their own bona fide reason to shoot their missiles on Babylon the Great when all is said and done. And guess what? The Lord's going to put the spirit on them to do that, man. All right? Point blank, period. It says, therefore shall her young man fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day. It says, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. And who is that? Esau, Edom, America. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. See? And you're going to be visited via these nuclear missiles. And let me get this. Remember it said, all you that bend the bow come up against Babylon. Let's see who that's talking about. All right? Oh, yeah, here we go. This is an article from the ICANN, the Nobel Peace Prize, banner nuclear weapons. It says, which countries have nuclear weapons? Now it said, all you that bend the bow camp round about against her. And this is what we see happening right now. We're seeing the West, America, being isolated basically by all these different nations. You see the BRIC nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and they're adding more and more countries to BRICS every day. A lot of these countries like Turkey, a lot of those Middle Eastern countries are linking up with Russia, with the BRICS, with China. And a lot of them are nuclear capable countries, man. And they all basically are looking at the West, basically licking their chops, waiting to get their opportunity to shoot their shot, to bend their bow and shoot their arrows on this place, all right? Now it says, which countries have nuclear weapons? It says 12,512 warheads in the world. It says Russia. Russia has the most with 5,899. United States is second with 5,244. China, France, the UK, Pakistan, India, Israel, North Korea, and guess what? Most of these nations on this thing are, allies one to another. We know that Russia, China, Pakistan, India, North Korea, they're all going to side with Russia. And we know that the United Kingdom, which is part of the EU, France is part of the EU or NATO, so they're allied with America. But like I said, hey, the allies of America are going to eventually turn on this place. You see? Then it says 6 nations hosting nuclear weapons. So you got what? Turkey, Italy, Belgium, Germany, Netherlands, Belarus, meaning that these countries that are hosting these weapons basically are holding the weapons of either China or America. You see? But those weapons that they have, they're going to be used on the side of whatever country that they're hosting them from. And look at this. It says one nuclear weapon detonated over New York City would cause 583,160 estimate fatalities. And that's just one. Remember, they're not going to just shoot one. They're going to empty all of their missiles on this place. This is why there's nothing going to be left here. Like I said earlier, if you're not part of the elect and being taken up and beamed up in the chariots when that day comes, you're through here, man. There's not going to be no bunker, no hole in the ground, no sewer you can crawl into, no bunker that's going to save your ass from the sheer destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great, man. See, it says there are roughly 12,100 nuclear warheads with over 9,500 in active military stockpiles, according to the Federation of Atomic Scientists. See, so the Lord has a very strong and a very powerful armory, man. You see, a very strong host. And these weapons are going to be used, man, because like I said, they're the weapons of the Lord's indignation. And Babylon, you're going to be visited. Like I said, Russia's going to get hit with some news. Different parts of the world, Israel's going to be destroyed. Some of these places are going to get hit with this nuclear weapons, man. But we know that the vast majority is going to be here on Babylon. Let me see something. It says, who has the most nuclear weapons? See, and the Lord made it intentionally for Russia to be the biggest carrier of his armory, because that's who he's going to use to ultimately to unleash the barrage of this judgment on Babylon. It says Russia has had the most confirmed nuclear weapons with over 5,500 nuclear warheads. The United States followed behind with 5,044 weapons hosted in the U.S. and 5 other nations: Turkey, Italy, Belgium, Germany, and the Netherlands. See, total nuclear warheads owned by these 2 countries alone counts for nearly 90% of the nuclear weapons in the world. North Korea and Israel is unconfirmed. However, it has been estimated that North Korea has enough fissile material to develop between 40 and 50 individual weapons. See? Look at this. It says countries having these. What does these countries having these nuclear weapons mean? It says a singular nuclear warhead could kill hundreds of thousands of people. And that's just one. Like I said, they're not going to just shoot one and be like, ha, ha, ha. The Lord going to put the spirit on them to let them all go. And I'm going to get into that right now. It says, with lasting and devastating humanitarian and environmental consequences. You see, that's why we don't know how long we're going to be up in the chariots when all is said and done. When the Lord allows this nuclear annihilation to happen, because you're going to have environmental hazards, nuclear fallout. Well, it's going to get into that, you know. It says, detonating just one nuclear weapon alone in New York will cause an estimated over 500,000 fatalities. Combined, Russia, the U.S., the United Kingdom, France, China, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea possesses over 12,000 nuclear weapons. So, when these missiles are dropped, hey, the number of sheer death is going to be in the millions, man. Probably in the billions. See? It says, most of which are many times more powerful than the nuclear weapon dropped on Hiroshima. 32 other states are also part of the problem, with 6 nations hosting nuclear weapons and a further 28 endorsing their use. See? So it's going down, man. You see, they're talking about tactical, non-tactical, you know? Yeah, all these other nations hosting other countries' nuclear weapons. You see, the Netherlands, Turkey. You see? And 28 other nations endorse it. See? 28 countries endorse the possession of the nuclear weapons by following the potential of nuclear weapons on their behalf as past of defense alliances, including the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, the Collective Security Treaty Organization. All 34 countries that endorse nuclear weapons uses are Albania, Armenia, Australia, Belarus, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czechs, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Japan, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Montenegro, the Netherlands, North Macedonia, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, and Turkey. And a lot of these are part of NATO, part of the allies of America. And what did I say earlier? That America's allies, they're going to turn and they're going to burn, they're going to hate the whore and burn her with fire, man. So like I said, that's why I read earlier when the Lord said he set a trap for Babylon. They don't even know it, man. They don't even know that a lot of their allies, a lot of these NATO countries that possess or that are hosting the nuclear missiles of America and the EU, they're going to eventually turn and use their missiles that are hosted by America on America, man. It's all scriptural. It's all prophetic, man. And this is the last thing that people are thinking about. They ain't thinking that one day America's going to be nuclearly annihilated. They don't believe in World War III, that this is going to happen here. They believe, oh, Trump's going to save America. They're not going to go to war. That's a damn lie, man. Scripture say otherwise. Prophecy says otherwise, man. The Lord says otherwise. I just was reading it, what the Lord's going to do to Babylon the Great. You see? All right? And people, don't want to believe it, but hey, let the Most High be true and every man a liar. I got to keep saying that, man. So what does it say? Call together the archers against Babylon. I was just reading about all these archers that possess these missiles that are going to come against Babylon, a.k.a. America, man. All those countries that are, maybe not every last single one of them, but the majority of them are, man. This place is a sitting duck. It's through. It says, call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her, for she hath been proud against Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, against the Holy One of Israel. See? So they're all going to eventually come up against this place, and America is going to be the one that's going to do it, man. All right. Oh, let me get this one real fast. All right. Showing you that it's going to be through oh shit, I keep reading. You know what? Let me jump down. Yeah, it says thus I'm gonna jump down to Jeremiah 50 and 32, and it says, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up, and I will kindle fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round. Come on, man, all round about him. What can do that? What technology that exists today that can set a fire amongst all the cities of all 51 states here in Babylon, the Great America, man? All right. It says, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. This is why this judgment is coming down upon this place. One of the many reasons why. All right, let me jump down. It says, shit, no, fuck it. It says, the Redeemer is strong. Who's our Redeemer? Yahushua. All right? And this is, like I said, when Yahushua comes with the holy host of angels and his army, hey, Yahweh is going to allow these missiles to be a part of Yahushua's campaign and his army, man. All right, and this is how we're going to be redeemed out of this place. Of course, being taken up into the chariots, but the final cherry on top is going to be the destruction. It says, Yahweh of hosts is his name, and he shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. Yeah, because like I said, these missiles are going to do away with all this shit, man. You see? What is the mingled people, this melting pot that America is known as, man? That's why I said, if you're not part of the elect, and you're on the soils of America when this visitation comes, hey, you're through, man. It says, a drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Which this is why this place is, known as Babylon too. They worship all the same idols and the same false gods as ancient Babylon. They just come under different names and under different, different names, but all the same shit. It says, therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the owl shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever. Like I said, this is how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon or Iraq, modern day Iraq today. It's talking about this place. It says, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, like I was saying earlier, this place spiritually is linked with Sodom and Gomorrah. And you know how Sodom and Gomorrah went out? Guess what? America's going out in that same fashion. It says, as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell there. See? Like I said, you go to modern day Sodom and Gomorrah now, don't nobody inhabit that land. You can't grow shit. You can't grow fruits, vegetables. That land is just a desolate wasteland with balls of sulfur and just a wasteland, man. Nothing is there. And that's what this place is going to be, man. It's going out in the same fashion. It says, behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Talking about Russia and all of its allies, man. Which I can get that next, man. See, that's why I was saying earlier that Russia is going to be the main nation that's going to be used to fulfill this prophecy, man. To come down upon this place. All right. All right. I'm gonna go to the next chapter. It's gonna go in there even more. It says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Talking about those Russians, man. All right. And people are saying, oh, the Russians are weak. Putin is weak. No, they're just showing mad restraint, man. Hey, but guess what? Hey, the Lord's gonna allow those Russians to be those Russians, and they're gonna come in that Cold War spirit when this war truly kicks off, and it's time to get in, and it's time to take it there, It says, and will not show mercy, their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, everyone put in array like man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. It says, yeah, you see, this is what we're doing. You got these guys blinking and these American war hawks talking all this shit. Oh, Russia's weak. Oh, they're bluffing, yada, yada, yada. But hey, we're going to see, man. And those Russians are going to be everything that we've been telling you that they are, because they ain't never got out of that warlike spirit, man. They know what it's like to be totally devastated and have to rebuild themselves up. All right, they know what it's like to have a strong military that has pride in their country, that wants to defend their country, out there training in the snow, out there, hardened. But look at these American soldiers, man. They're weak, they're feeble, they want to change their sex. You got a lot of moles in the military switching and sashaying all over the place, man. Those Russian soldiers they ain't playing that shit. You ain't finding no mole soldiers over there in Russia. They'll chop their heads off, man. They'll put a bottle up their anus and kick it and bust a bottle in their asses, man. They ain't that don't fly over there, man. But this place here is weak, is ready for the taking, and they're gonna be like women in that day, man. Let me get to the next point, showing you this talking about Russia. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 50. I'm gonna read the first 1 through 5, right? It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind." What do you think that destroying wind is, man? These nuclear missiles, man. Like I said, I don't think I said that, but even China, one of their missiles are called the Dongfang missile, which means the east wind missile, man. See, look at this. It says, if a nuclear weapon detonates, what happens? It says, this is short-term effects. A single nuclear weapon can destroy a city and kill most of its people. Several nuclear explosions over modern cities will kill tens of millions of people. Casualties from a major nuclear war between the U.S. and Russia. See, why are they saying that? Because they don't know, but prophetically, this is what's going to happen, man. Like that country from the north, this cruel country that I'm reading about, it is speaking about Russia. Coming from the land of the Medes, which I'm going to show you that right now. And their allies, they're going to be the ones that's going to, the Lord is using to fulfill this prophecy. It says, a war between U.S. and Russia would reach hundreds of millions. It takes around 10 seconds for the fireball from a nuclear explosion to reach its maximum size. A nuclear explosion releases vast amounts of energy in the form of blast, heat, and radiation. An enormous shockwave reaches speeds of many hundreds of kilometers an hour. The blast kills people close to ground zero and causes lung injuries, ear damage, and internal bleeding further away. See, so whether you're ground zero or you're farther away, you're all going to be jacked up. You're all going to be fucked up. All right, and if you get hurt or injured, at the end of the day, you're still going to you're going to catch cancer, even if you're not in the ground zero blast radius, man. And if that don't happen, you're going to be hit by debris from buildings, glass, all the shit that gets blown away from one of these blasts. It says, and causes lung injuries, ear damage, and internal bleeding further away. People sustain injuries from collapsing buildings and flying objects. Thermal radiation is so intense that almost everything close to ground zero is vaporized. The extreme heat causes severe burns and ignites fire over a large area, which coalesce into a giant firestorm. Even people in underground shelters face likely death due to lack of oxygen and carbon monoxide poisoning, man. So the Lord has created the perfect waster to destroy. So let me get something real quick, man. All right. Let me get this. See what he was just reading? And those were the short-term effects, man. The long-term effects, forget about it, man. I see that's why nobody's going to be inhabiting Babylon the Great after all is said and done, because this place is going to be uninhabitable, man. This is going to be like the Forbidden Zone, man. All right? They show you that movie Fallout, that little series that came out, and on what was that, on Amazon, man. And it's not going to be like that when Babylon is destroyed. Ain't nobody going to be out there coming out of bomb shelters and walking around this place after all is said and done. I already read that, man. This place is going to be utterly destroyed. Nobody's going to pitch tent here. Nobody's going to live here anymore, all right? So let me get this. This is, Joel chapter 2 and 11. It says, Joel 2 and 1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain, that all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. You see? And what's the ultimate day of the Lord? When this situation takes place. It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there has never been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. This is speaking about the nuclear destruction, right? Because after these missiles are used, they're not going to be used again. Nations are not going to lift up war against nations anymore, especially in our kingdom. All right. So this is a one in a lifetime. This is a one and only situation that's going to happen, and it's going to change the whole landscape of the whole universe and this whole planet and on this earth after all is said and done, man. Because people are going to understand by whose authority and who will this thing took place, man. It says, this is talking about the nuclear missile. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. It's like what I was just reading right here, man. All right, what happens if a nuclear weapon detonates? What happens, man? You see? This is what I'm reading about. I read about it, but I'm reading about it in the scriptures, man. Millions dead upon impact, man. Everybody's going to be affected. Buildings are going to burn. The elements are going to melt with fervent heat. All those good things, man. All right. It says what the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Right. Watch the movie Terminator Judgment Day. When Sarah Connor was on the gate and that nuclear missile hit, first you saw the flash of light. Then you saw what? That sweeping besom of destruction, and everything in its path was completely dissolved and annihilated within an instant, man. See, that's why scriptures tell you in 1 hour, the so great riches, America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed, man. And because these missiles, these long-range ICBM missiles, they can be here, shot from Russia, within 20 minutes, man. And the destruction, it just said that, right? It takes 10 seconds for it to reach its full, what did it say? Yeah, it says it takes around 10 seconds for the fireball from a nuclear explosion to reach its maximum size, man. 10 seconds, man. Let's do this. What is this? This is showing like a little. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get something real quick. Let me get something. See, man, this is what the scriptures is talking about, man. All right? And it's not a game. It's not a joke, man. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. No, I'll start at 9. It says, "But the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering towards usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Come on, man. This is exactly what I'm showing you in this video, is what it's talking about, man. All right? So this day is coming. So what manner of persons ought you to be? Talking to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Hey, because this day is coming, whether you want to believe it or accept it or not. It's only a matter of when, not if, man. It's because it's prophesied, all right? And the Lord's sayings are constant, and his prophecies are always going to come to pass, man. So let's finish this little video.
Moments you're on your way to work, the next moment you're on fire. Now the second phase begins. It happens in a few seconds. Most people will now first notice that something is wrong, but it's already too late for hundreds of thousands. The flash is followed by the shockwave. The heat and radiation of the fireball create a bubble of superheated and supercompressed air around it that's now expanding explosively, faster than the speed of sound, creating winds stronger than hurricanes and tornadoes. Human infrastructure is no match for its power. Most major buildings within a kilometer of the fireball are just ground up down to their base. Only steel-reinforced concrete is able to partially resist the pressure. In the surrounding parks where retirees feed the ducks, trees blackened and smoldering from the heat a second before snap like toothpicks. If you're outside, you get tossed away like a grain of dust in a tornado. The shockwave weakens as it travels outwards, but still, about 175 square kilometers of houses collapse like they're made of cards, trapping tens of thousands of people who didn't have any time to react. Gas stations explode and fires spread throughout the rubble. A mushroom cloud made from the remains of the fireball, dust and ash rises kilometers into the sky in the next few minutes and casts a dark shadow over the ruined city. This violently pulls in fresh air surrounding the city, destroying more buildings and providing an abundance of oxygen. It depends on the city why.
Oh yeah, and just to make a point too, you see when it showed that mushroom cloud, let me get that, man. And that mushroom cloud, when it goes, you know what's going to be within that mushroom cloud? All the bodies and these people that's going to get sucked up inside of that vortex of that mushroom cloud, man. Let me get that real quick. See, man, hey, this is not for play, man. This is serious business, man. All right. This is Isaiah 34:1. "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation or the righteous anger of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies." See? And this is why these nations are being gathered over there for this third world war. You know, because it's going to eventually usher in these nuclear missiles being used in the whole of America. And remember, this video I'm showing you, that's only showing you what happens when one nuke. I've been showing you all day that there's over 13,000 nuclear warheads that's possessed all around the country, and all these different countries that have these nuclear missiles, and all their host countries that have these missiles of this capacity of mass destruction, man. All right, and it's all the indignation of the Lord. These are the weapons of his indignation, man. This is how he's going to lay the land flat and desolate and totally annihilate the whole of Babylon, the great America, man. Everything that we see here will be no more eventually, man. See, this is why this is only a temporary situation, and this is why you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans need to be getting your mind out of investing and having a long, talking about black excellence and having a 10-year plan here in America, because it ain't going to happen. All right, this place is destined for destruction and nuclear annihilation, man. It says, "For the indignation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them and have delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. See? It says, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, like he just showed you with that mushroom cloud, man. And that's just, like I said, that's just one. Imagine when all these other nuclear missiles hit Babylon. It's going to be multiple fucking mushroom clouds, man. Everything is going to be getting sucked into that mushroom cloud. People, buildings, dogs, what the brothers in London say, dogs, the puss, monkeys, apes, people, cars, all this shit, man. All right, a lot of people are going to get sucked up into that mushroom cloud, and that's where you're going to be burnt in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb, man. A lot of you that's going to have the MOTB, that mark of the beast, you're going to be sucked up in that mushroom cloud, and you're going to be literally dissolved, man. It says, what? And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And what does it look like when you roll a scroll together? It kind of looks like the mushroom cloud, man, like I just showed you in this video. It says, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. And that's how these nuclear weapons are used, especially the ICBMs. They go up into the atmosphere. They got like 3 phases. It goes up, it starts to arc down, the little cone comes out, it starts to spin, man, and those multiple warheads are released, and they go and they come down at over 30, some at, faster than the speed of sound, some at different speeds, some at crazy speeds, man. And they're going to come down with much pain upon their targets, man. You see? It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. And who is Idumea? Esau. That's the Greek way of saying Edom, is Idumea. All right? And it's going to fall down upon him in his rulership, in his kingdom, Babylon the Great, the land of Israel, his military installations, the White House, his EU headquarters, NATO headquarters. His whole power structure is going to be totally annihilated, man. All right? And it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of the kidney of rams. For Yahweh have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, which is America, Babylon the Great, man. See? And this is how the Lord is going to do it. So back here, right?
What happens next? If there's enough fuel, fires may turn into a firestorm that burns the rubble.
Oh, and the scriptures say that too. What does the Lord say? Let me see if I can find that. Praise ye the Lord in the fires. That's what we're going to be doing. Well, no, never mind. I don't want to get that. But let me get this. Back to this.
Trapped in it, and people trying to flee the devastation. Up to 21 kilometers from the explosion, people just like you rush to their windows to take pictures of the mushroom cloud, unaware that the shockwave is still coming at them, about to shatter their windows and create a blizzard of sharp glass.
Boom!
The third phase begins in the coming hours and days. We're used to the idea that help will come, no matter the disaster. This time is different. A nuclear explosion is like every natural disaster at once. There are hundreds of thousands or millions of people with serious injuries, lacerations, broken bones, serious burns. In the next few minutes and hours, thousands more will die because of these injuries. Countless people are trapped in collapsed buildings like in earthquakes or blinded by the flash, deaf from the blast wave, and unable to flee through streets impassable with rubble and debris. They're terrified, confused, and don't know what's happened to them or why. Most likely, many hospitals have been leveled along with all the other buildings, and most medical professionals are either dead or injured along with everyone else. The survivors lucky enough to have been in metro tunnels or standing in the right place to be unburned and unhurt won't have truly escaped harm yet. Depending on the type of weapon, where it explodes, and even the weather, an awful black rain can begin, with radioactive ash and dust descending on the city, covering everything and everyone. The invisible, malicious, silent horror of radiation takes its turn. Every breath carries poison to the lungs of the survivors. Over the coming days, the people who receive the highest doses of radiation exposure will die. There will be no help, not for hours, or maybe even days. Civilization doesn't operate when there is a total breakdown of infrastructure. Roads are blocked, train tracks walked, runways cluttered with rubble. No water, no electricity, no communication, no stores to replenish.
You see? And you see why the only place that's going to be safe from this destruction is going to be taken up into the chariots, man? Let me get that real fast, man. And remember, he's explaining just what happens if one of these missiles hit a city. We know that it's going to be multiple. You know, scriptures say 100, 200 million, man. Let's see if I can find that. It says, this is Revelations 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And what is the cloud? The chariots, man. What these the white man calls a UFO or UAP. You see, like I said, this is the only escape from this thermonuclear destruction and this indignation that the Lord is going to bring upon Babylon the Great when it happens. Your only escape is to go up into these chariots, man. You saw what's going to happen after these nukes were dropped. All of the radiation, the acid rain, the black rain, you know, being under the debris. Look at what 9/11 did to the people that was breathing in that shit. And that was just so-called, that wasn't even a nuclear explosion, man. Look at the amount of death and long-term disease that shit caused, man. Imagine what these nukes are going to do. It says, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And at the same hour, there was a great earthquake. What's going to cause this great earthquake? Is these nuclear missiles. They're going to destroy the 12 FEMA regions that America is broken down into, man. It says, and at the same hour, there was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, which 7 means a complete number. All right? And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. You see? And that's what we're going to be doing in those chariots. If we're, Lord willing, we're part of the elect, and we escape this nuclear destruction, man. That's the only place you can go is up. All right? So let me finish this. Hopefully y'all can hear it. You see, but like I said, this is a scenario where they're talking about just one nuke. We're talking about the whole of America being destroyed. So there ain't going to be nobody left here. That's not even going to be a logical scenario when what's prophesied to happens, man. All right, there ain't going to be no hospitals to go to. There ain't going to be nobody, left to try to survive. Everybody's just going to be through and done, man. All right. So let me go to Jeremiah 51. Finish where I was, all right? Not read though. All right, and like I said, and the Lord is going to use Russia ultimately to bring in this destruction. What was it? Yeah, Jeremiah 51, verse 5. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. You see? Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, which are these missiles, man. It says, and against him that lifted up himself in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. See, like I was showing you in this article, man. I mean, in that video. Once it hit, everything in its path is just going to be completely dissolved, eviscerated, sucked up into the mushroom cloud, man. You know, it's going to be nothing left here. That's why it says this place is going to be like a desert, and only the desert creatures are going to be able to come back here and dwell in the destroyed cities and the broken buildings. You know, what's ever left of the skyscrapers, man. It's going to be through. Watch the movie Fist of the North Star, the very first 5 minutes of it. They show you what happens when that nuclear destruction hit the world, man. It showed motherfucking souls leaving out of their bodies, man. People was burned alive, but they stood upon their feet. What's that? Let me get that Zechariah, Lord willing, next. It says, so I want to get that. What was that? Then let me jump down to 24 and 11. I want to get to the point, man. I don't want to make it too long. Oh, here we go. Jeremiah 51 and 25, it says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. It's talking about America. It says, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which destroyeth all the earth. See? And that's what Esau is guilty of. That's what America is at the forefront of, destroying all the earth, man, through his policies, you know, through his policies, through his democracy, through his philosophies, you know, through his wars, man. You see? This place hasn't allowed anybody to rest or anybody to be, not untouched by his wickedness, you know? Like I said, he got a hole in the ozone layer. He got space trash, man. You know, GMO foods, the soil is depleted, the air is toxic. I was just watching the video, I think that brother Michael Allah out here in the West and out here in LA did, they were showing you all that smog and pollution over there in India, man. Hey, this whole world needs to be totally reset. It needs to be, that's why Yahweh Shah is going to bring that great reset, the real, true reset. And he's going to, we're going to get this earth back to its pristine natural state, because this place has been totally destroyed under the inhabitants of these fucking heathens, man. It says, yeah, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And what is a mountain? A government. And this whole government and this rulership of Esau is going to become a burnt mountain, a burnt government, man, via these missiles. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith Yahweh. Right, the Lord's going to completely destroy Esau's whole power structure, his whole rulership, everything that he has established and built on this earth is going to be ultimately destroyed, starting with here, Babylon the Great. That's why this place is going to be known as the land of confusion, man. And it's never going to be re-erected or established ever again. Oh, let me get that real fast. Real quick, man. So Esau, you in trouble, boy. You in trouble. You had your time, though. You know, you can't say the Lord ain't fair. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, Malachi 1 and 4, it says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Right. And what did they ultimately rebuild was Rome 2.0. All right. During the Renaissance period up until this very time, he did rebuild after the ancient Roman Empire was destroyed and taken over by Jake, which they showed you in that movie Gladiator, that you had Jake eventually come into power as Caesars and rulers in the ancient Roman Empire, man. And then going into the Holy Roman Empire, you had Jake ruling that, where Esau was in the caves, he was in the dark, he didn't have any power. You know, he was the wild man living in caves, ooga booga. You know, the Geico caveman ended up. But then around the Renaissance periods in the 1500s up until now, he rebuilt this Roman Empire 2.0, which Elon Musk just tweeted that, you know, America was created to be the new version of Rome, which is never going to fall. Yeah, right, nigga. I'm reading about your destruction and your downfall right now, man. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. See? And the Lord is going to show his indignation upon you when he destroys you via this nuclear destruction that I'm reading about. You see? And it says, and they shall not take a corner. Oh, it says, it says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks and will make thee a burnt mountain. See? Like I said, the Lord took you down during the ancient Roman Empire, built you back up, and now he's about to wholly take you down this time forever, man. It says, and they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations. Right, so you're not going to build no Rome 3.0. these this new world order they're speaking about, these elites trying to establish their dominance through technology and AI and putting microchips and having this digital slave system, him rising out of the ashes of this nuclear destruction. It's not going to happen. It's not in your cards, man. You had your turn. The Lord gave you your rulership, your dominion, your blessings, and now it's time for you to be utterly destroyed and taken out of the way, man. Right? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. Now it's our turn. Now it's our time to rise up and to get our blessings and our kingdom and the throne of David established, man. And the Lord's going to give us a kingdom that's not going to be left to other people, and that's going to never be taken down or destroyed forever and ever. You can read that in the book of Daniel, man. That's the times that we're living in. That's what Yahweh Shai is coming back to establish. You see? But first, you're going to be thrown down in a major way, man. It says, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. How far am I going? Shit. It says, set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, which is Turkey, Mene and Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her. Who's going to be the captain? Russia. Vladimir Putin, the Medes, man. And all these different nations that's going to join themselves unto Russia. But you got like the Ethiopians, a lot of those African nations are building up with Russia, China, Turkey, Saudi Arabia. Like I said, even a lot of your own allies are going to turn and come up against you, man. And this is how you're going to be ultimately destroyed forever. And don't get it twisted. Hey, the Russians, they're going to go down too. Yahweh Shai is going to judge Russia, China, all these heathen nations that are joining themselves with Russia, ultimately to destroy Babylon the Great. But hey, they're going to be gathered and judged and thrown into captivity too, man. Because they're Edomites as well. These Russians, the Ukrainians, the small hats, you know. The Moab, Ammon, they're all going to be visited, they're all going to be gathered, and they're all going into slavery under Yahweh Shai. They're just being used as pieces to bring in the destruction and judgment of Babylon the Great, but they have their own judgment to pay for as well. All right? It says, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars, prepare against her the nations with the king of the Medes. Who's the Medes? The Russians, man. So these nations that are being gathered with Russia, they're going to be the ones that's going to be vital into the throwdown and the destruction of Babylon. It says the captains thereof and all the rulers thereof and all the land of his dominion. Because a lot of these nations that are getting with Russia, they're all making pacts to where if Russia does finally go to war with America and its allies, they have contracts to where they're all going to join in with Russia to fight against America in this third world war, man. It's all coming together beautifully. It says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Right. These American soldiers, when it's all said and done, when it really gets down to time to fight, like I said earlier, these American soldiers are weak. They all want to have gender reassignment surgery. You know, they're in the military just to get a check. They don't have any patriotic, fight within them. They don't really give a damn about defending their country. You know, a lot of them, when the times come, they're going to abandon ship. A lot of these guys are going to go AWOL. A lot of them are going to be looking for a way not to get put on the front lines of this great meat grinder in World War III, which is why they're going to eventually have to have a draft, man. You see? And they're going to put a lot of you American Gen Zers on the front lines in Russia, in Ukraine and in Europe and China or wherever they're going to need you for this great meat grinder, man. And you're going to be broken and terrified, all right? It says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their mighty men have failed. They become as women, literally and literally and mightily. You know, they become as women. They're terrified. They're weak. They don't want to fight. They're not being prepped and born to defend this country. They don't give a damn, man. All right. It says they become as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end, and that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war affrighted. You see? It says, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon, which is America, is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. And what is the harvest? The end of this place, the end of the world. And the harvest of Babylon the Great America is soon to come via these thermonuclear missiles, which are the weapons of the Lord's indignation and the weapons of his part of his army to fulfill his will and to avenge Israel of our captivity and all the hell and the wickedness we had to endure while being under the rule of Esau, Edom, in the land of our captivity, Babylon the Great America, man. So with that, I'm going to close it there. Lord willing, you were edified. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that grew well. Peace and blessing be multiplied on all you Akim, pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. Lord willing, next week, Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.